So, welcome to round one. So, as I said, I'm rewatching this as I'm talking, and I'll probably be skipping through. I'm just watching an unedited version. So, I won the roll. I figured my deck was fairly aggressive, so I opted to play first. I looked at this opening hand, and it doesn't really have. You need to draw both a green and a blue to be able to do anything. So I mulliganed. Or either a green or a blue to do anything, and that just didn't seem all that great. This hand sort of, had a very similar problem in that it needed to draw a blue to be able to do anything. But if you drew two lands, you had Juggernaut. So I figured that was probably good enough, and I didn't really feel like going to five. I problem I know I have number one is not mulliganing aggressively enough. Still, I think this is probably a good enough hand to keep. I was gesturing there. Figured, if only that were an island, right? You always want to have the lands you don't. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So round one or turn one, play the forest. You can see I was chatting with the guy over there because he was taking a while. He drops an island. I draw the awesome Sylvan Ranger, which just made this game, you know, so much easier. Grab the island, so we have Cloud Elemental next turn, which is, going to be great. Plays the plains, does nothing. So this is one of the few things that I do probably right is I, swing in first before I give him any information, play the island, drop the Cloud Elemental, close the reveal window, pass turn. So he goes turn 3 Spitfire, and I'm like, ugh, of course. Not only, stops my Sylvan Ranger, but slows down my Cloud Elemental beats. I draw the forest that I need, which is great. So I can go turn 4 Juggernaut and do something with the Spitfire next turn. At this point, I'm thinking, do I feel like, attacking in and giant growthing? I don't think that's right. I mean, the Spitfire is a problem, but it's not like a huge problem, and I think we'd rather. The play I think I eventually make is, dropping the Juggernaut, because you don't want to. I mean, why not get the Juggernaut on the board now, as opposed to, setting yourself back a turn to just blow up the Spitfire? I was probably wondering about, maybe he has Day of Judgment, which it turns out he actually does have in this deck, but I, of course, didn't know this yet. He also has 2/4Cs, which I'll learn later. 2/4Cs and a Jace's Ingenuity. So this guy has some pretty good card draw. So I look over there. He on almost all his 4Cs, he goes bottom, bottom, top, top. I don't know if maybe he just wants to draw 2 of those cards every time. I don't know. It was just interesting. That's something that I observed during this. So I draw the island, and now I have to think about whether or not I want to Doomblade his. Well, obviously not Doomblade his Spitfire, because that's terrible. But whether or not I'll want to hit him with the. If he blocks the Cloud Elemental, whether I want to Giant Growth it. I don't here, I don't believe. Simply because, again, I don't care that I'm not getting 2 damage through here. And I don't really care about it since it doesn't seem like he's been using anything, or it doesn't seem like he's going offensive with it. So I overextend here, go for the Spined Worm, especially because if he doesn't do anything here, I can just win next turn with swinging it with everything and then giant growthing something. And even if he blocks like the Cloud Elemental next turn, I can win. Unfortunately, he plays Manic Vandal and torches my Juggernaut, which is saddening to me and sets me back a little bit, but, you know, such is life. He also drops a Stormfront Pegasus, which is, you know, going to be difficult. So I still am on the swing-in plan this turn. I believe I swing in with everything. Am I that good of a player, or am I still bad? No, I just swing in with Cloud Elemental and Spineworm. That's actually probably right. So he double blocks the Spined Worm, and I Giant Growth to save my Spined Worm. Eventually, when I stop being stupid. Hopefully I'll have edited out the stupidness of me ordering the blockers. Giant Growth, yes. So, blockers die. Spitfire again blocks there. If the train comes through, I apologize. I live next to a train. Play the island, pass turn. He plays a Juggernaut of his own, which I Doomblade, because I want to be able to get in next turn. Oh, I don't Doomblade it. It's so bad. That's right, I draw the Aether Adept, which is just a fantastic draw. If I was playing, you know, smartly, I probably should have Doombladed it before, but perhaps I was thinking that, you know, maybe I'll either draw an answer, or there's nothing that I probably will draw that I will want to cast and Doomblade at that turn. But I rip Aether Adept and get in with everybody. He kills my Sylvan Ranger, which I think is, you know, interesting in that it lets me put him at 7. So you know, this is great for me because he's just going to drop his Juggernaut again. I'm going to Doomblade it, and I'm going to take game 1. Or he's going to, you know, play Angelic Arbiter, and then I have to Doomblade that. So my not Doomblading there is... I must be a genius in... as I'm playing, and absolutely terrible as I'm commentating. You should probably just watch these with the commentary off. If you would watch this at all. So he says nice cards. I guess he's a little grumpy about that defeat, but it's okay because he'll get the next 2. So we move into sideboarding. I don't sideboard anything here. I probably could have pulled out a Cultivate for the Call to Mind, which you'll see me do a lot. I'm still not sure if that's actually right. The reason I do it is because you know, my deck is so lacking in removal that I probably my deck is so lacking in removal that I just want to, you know, be able to get what removal I do have back. You know, that's a flawed plan, admittedly, because I only have the one Doomblade, but whatever.